Hello and welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Sue Kramer. Thank you for joining me today. It's so fun to be with you. Let me find myself on my tablet. I think I need a new setup here. I've been talking about it. If my tablet's on the other end of this 5.5, 6 foot table, so I don't always see your comments. But thank you for joining me. Hello, hello. I think while we're waiting for people to join me, we are going to dip dye snowflakes. It sounds so funny, but they are die cut paper snowflakes. And we're going to dip dye them in rubbing alcohol and re-inker. So hopefully you saw my poll this afternoon on Sue's Stampin' Chat. I asked what color should I make my snowflakes. So the card I'm making, I am going to do blue, but I'm going to demonstrate with purple. And we'll talk about the reasons why and all that. So hello, hello. All right, people are starting to join me. So thank you for joining me. You can find me at northstarstamper.com. And from there, you can get to everywhere. You can get to Facebook if you're on YouTube. You can get to YouTube if you're on Facebook, depending on where you're watching me. You can contact me there. There's a contact form. You can sign up for my newsletter. So if you want to see the card I create with these snowflakes we're dip dyeing today, you need to sign up for my newsletter. I will share that card in my second November newsletter. So next week, the 7th through whatever, 7 through 11, that's the newsletter where the snowflakes we dip dye tonight will be in that newsletter. And I put the inspiration in my newsletter only. What I put in there you will not see on Pinterest or Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or anywhere else. So while we're waiting for more people to join, oh dear, it says it can't play video. So hopefully you are not having trouble staying with me. I hope. So I have talked about Craft Roulette a few times, and this was my card that I made last Friday. So it is let's see, Mary Gunn calls it the Ultimate Paper Crafting Card Challenge. And you don't have to make a card. We almost always make cards because they're easy and quick, to be honest. I've been tempted to make something other than a card. So are you having trouble finding me? I'm having trouble with... All right, let's see if I'm still recording. I am. I'm just going to keep going. Let me know if you're having issues. My tablet is... Hold on. Let me find myself. So I'm going to leave this card here while I play with my tablet. So the parameters we had for this card were tic-tac-toe. Can you see my grid lines back there on the base? Oh, there we go. I think I'm back. All right. No trouble. Thank you, Mom. And say hi to Dad, too. I know my dad listens when my mom watches. Okay. All right. So the project was tic-tac-toe. The colors were violet, red, +2. So I have purple in my sentiment. Red, I used Mary Merlot. And my +2 were the yellow and orange. And then she gives us neutrals for free. So my brown, soft suede were kind of free. And then the element was leaves. So obviously I played tic-tac-toe with my leaves. And I don't know, let me stand up so I can see what you're seeing. Can you see I stamped on the soft So Saffron in leaves? And then I embossed it in leaves too. So I have a lot of leaves going on this one. And then our random element was fringe, and I frayed some of our ribbon to get my fringe under my sentiment. So that was a really fun card to make. So join us on Fridays. It's called Craft Roulette, and it's on YouTube at 6:30 Central Time, Friday evenings. All right, let's get started. Oh dear. Is it just hopefully it's just my tablet that's having trouble. I'm just going to keep going and hopefully it will come back. So we are dip dyeing snowflakes, and the snowflakes can be found in the mini catalog. That's not the snowflakes. Sorry, the snowflakes are in the annual catalog. That's why I'm confused a little bit. Oh, I don't want squish them. There we go. Part of the season of chic. I've been wanting to play with the snowflake for a while, so I am. And I'm just using the stamp here. I do use this stamp on the inside of my card. And then if you go to the back, this was page 99 in the annual catalog. And then back here on page 166, you can see the dies a little more closely. I only have used these 3 dies, and I'm not sure if these other little ones were supposed to be centers for the flower or tiny snowflakes. I have one to show you, I think, and you can help me decide if it's supposed to be a snowflake. So that is most of what we're doing. Those are the dies. When I make my card, I'm going to be using the New Year from the Handmade Wishes in the July through December mini catalog on page 21. And then I'm using the Happy from the Artistically Inked, that's in the annual catalog. But what I'm also focusing on are more snowflakes. Can you see this paper? It is on page 40 of the mini catalog. I just put it on a recent order because I thought it looked interesting. I thought it might be fun to play with. Oh, wait till you see it. It is only 6 sheets, but it's vellum. And I'll pull it out here in a minute. It's translucent foil and white flocking. Let me pull that out real quick. You get 3 sheets of, 3 designs, 2 sheets each. Yeah. And it is 12 by 12, but you'll see that I've cut it up. So they have the same 2, so this is one of the patterns. You can see, I'm sure you can see that foil. Isn't that amazing? And then this is the flocking. I wish you could feel it. It's fuzzy, very fun. So that's one of the patterns. There is a second snowflake pattern. It is very similar. This is it's so soft. It's going to be really fun. Kids are going to like getting cards made out of that. And then just dots. And I thought this will go really well with that nativity scene. On that next page, because it really does look like snow. And this could be really fun for, like I'm using it for New Year's, but a special birthday kind of thing. And then with the white flocking, I wondered if you could color it. So, I don't know if you can tell. Let me grab something white here. Can you tell that I used a blending brush on this? You probably can't. It's very subtle. And here I used our blends, alcohol markers to color it. I think I'll just be leaving it white, but I just wondered what would happen if you colored it. So we are using a piece of that in our card today. Okay. Okay, let's see. I have new grid paper in our 22 to 24 in colors. So that's going to help keep my table clean. I have die cut a lot of snowflakes. So the first ones I die cut, or dip dyed. So our CEO, Sarah, does a live video every Tuesday afternoon. And if she's not available, she wrangles somebody to do the video for her. So there's a new video every Tuesday at, I don't remember. Let me know if you're interested and you can't find her. It's Sarah Douglas is our CEO. So I dip dyed these, and they were white, or that was balmy blue. And I think I used them all. Let me look closely. I did some with shimmery paper, and I used them on my card. I don't think any of these are shimmer. I used them all. We wondered if the shimmer would hold the ink, and it does. Look at this card. Isn't that beautiful? If I do say so myself. So both of the snowflakes, you can see I dip dyed the piece that I die cut the Happy from. This is just the shimmer white, and I don't know if you can see. It is shimmery, but that foil is just stunning. And this was a freshly made sketch for this week, so it is on my blog already. So you can go look at it there, and I stamped on the inside. So this is the card we're going to make with these dies, but I do want to share what I learned about dip dyeing. So I wanted to use a glass container, and I couldn't find a bowl, so I have the lid of this. This is cracked, so I can't use it for food anymore. So I used this, and it worked okay. But for today, we're going to be using a jelly jar with a small dies like the snowflakes. They'll fit nicely into my jelly jar, and I'm going to use, where did it go? My reverse tweezers. I do have the ones from Stampin' Up, but with the white tips of the tweezers, I don't want to accidentally get those colored, so I'm not using those. So I'll be able to put my snowflakes into the jar. All right. Like I said, we will be using these blue ones because they're dry when I make my card after. All right. One thing I noticed, I did start the dip dyeing with balmy blue, and it was so pale you couldn't really see, and I ended up coloring almost the whole snowflake in color. You can see a little bit of variation there, like it's darker on this side than this side, and a little bit of white in the middle. So I tried, but I think I'm gonna like it even better with a darker color. I did dip dye this a second time, some of these. So I started with the balmy blue, and then I used Tahitian Tide, one of the in colors from last summer, just because I knew the balmy blue was too pale and you wouldn't be able to see it on camera. So today we are going to use our 91% isopropyl alcohol, and I am going to put this in my jar first so that when I put the re-inker drops, and we're going to use Gorgeous Grape, so when I add the re-inker, it doesn't stick to the bottom. And I'm putting quite a bit in here. I don't know, probably a few tablespoons, not a quarter cup, but that much. I don't know if you can see. And I'm going to put a lot in here. I do have a roll of paper towel on the other end of my desk. I think that's 4 or 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, that's a good number to start with. I can always add more, obviously. So I think the darker color is key. Sarah was using our pre-die cut leaves. They were leaves and amber gems that she was dyeing with Mary Merlot, I think it was. So it was a really dark color on a craft color paper she was using. So I'm just swirling this to make sure the ink still is in the bottom of my jar. I do have the lid to put on here when I'm done. So we're going to start with the white. This one is one of the shimmer. I do not know if you can see, but you're just going to have to trust me that that's a shimmer. It's not quite as white as our white. Make sure I don't dump my jar. So you can see it's not quite vanilla and it's not quite white. So we are going to use my tweezers to hold on to the end. And let me stand up so I can see what you're seeing. And I'm just going to dip it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to leave it just like that. We're going to move the blue ones out of the way. Bring in our paper towels. Let's move the blue ones way out of the way so you can see that. All right, I'm just going to dip dye a whole bunch. So this, my video is really acting up. I hope yours is not acting up. Earlier you said it wasn't, so I'm hoping. This one is the same shape as the stamp, and so I'll show you later how we can stamp that easily. So I'm gonna just put it in and let it drip a minute. And I'm gonna put it in not quite so far and see if we can't get some tie-dye kind of thing going. Can you see that? Isn't that beautiful? So I guess lesson learned, you do need a dark color ink to get that tie-dye look. That'll be fun to play with. So when I go to stamp on that solid piece, I'll probably use the Gorgeous Grape, and you'll actually be able to see. I want to poke these insides out. I tried to do just the tips of the snowflake. I thought that would be kind of a cool effect. Trying to set that down. Move my tweezers so I can get a couple more. Can you see what I'm doing, I hope? I'm just putting the very tip of the snowflake in. I think a couple years ago we had some snowflake paper that was it Balmy Blue and Blushing Bride, I want to say. I think we've had some with purple too, which is where I got the idea to make these purple. Oh, the paper I used to die cut these was fresh freesia. A couple more dips. I'm just getting the tips of my, can you see that? I need white behind it. I keep grabbing my envelope. Oh, I got some on there. But I think that'll be really pretty with just the tips, and the water is, or alcohol is absorbing into it. Let's do some more. I don't have a solid white one. So you just play around. It's really fun. I had a good time. And then I dip dyed some quarter sheets. You'll have to watch my blog for that. We're just going to dip dye this. But you get the idea. Just play around. I think I do like the fresh freesia more than the white, but whatever. Let's do a little one. I'm going to have lots of snowflakes to play with. So dip, and dry it a little bit on there, and I'm going to see if I can get some darker on the ends. So this will be fun to play with. So just try different things. The tweezers, I think, were key. Using a glass jar, I think, is important. I think it might stain if you use a plastic one. And I'm going to close this up and set it aside and finish more snowflakes later. So let me see if you guys have any questions. And I will bring my card back so you have something to look at while I check questions. Anne says she needs that snowflake paper now. It is beautiful. I keep waiting for live video signal. I noticed my cell service was low, but I also have, I'm hoping I'm not having issues, so let's get busy making a card, shall we? All right, I'm going to move that aside. That's what we're making today. Let's bring our snowflakes back. It keeps going, my video keeps going back to me showing the paper, the craft roulette card. I hope that's not where you are. Let me read comments on here. I don't know. We're just going to keep going. All right. I have a Balmy Blue card base. I've been really careful today. I didn't want to spill my alcohol re-inker mixture, but it's put away. I can calm down a little bit. There's the Balmy Blue. This is Starry Sky. Yes, one of our new in colors. After I made this card, I think I would like to stamp some snowflakes around this layer. Very dark, but it'll be fun to see. And not everywhere. Oh, Anne says I'm good. All right, it must just be my tablet or something. I don't know. We're just gonna put this away while I put things on. So, where did my circle go? I already die cut it. Uh-oh.